In this video series, we are going to be writing the word art. So what you're going to see attached in Google Classroom is instructions for this lesson. So basically what this is telling you is to look at this. This should look like the final product of what is going to happen. But because this is so small, what I have done is I have taken things step by step for you guys to show y'all how to actually write the word art right here. But like it says right here, the word on your page should look similar in size, and the placement of it should look really similar to this. So this is your final product. If you want to practice with me on a scratch sheet of paper before you actually draw on the final piece of paper, you certainly can. I thought about this. If I was actually doing this, it would be a lot easier for me to see somebody doing it larger than if somebody's trying to do it really small on this paper, because it's relatively small. So if you want to practice with me, that is fine. If you want to watch along and just see if you can apply it in that way to your building, you certainly can as well. So I'm just on this scratch sheet of paper. I'm going to draw a horizon line, and I'm also going to make some guidelines that are going to look like that row of windows that we did a week ago. So if you can think of the way this is laid out, this will be exactly the same steps in the first part of this as you're making a row of windows. So this is going to look like we're making a row of 3 windows. So I made my vertical line right here. I'm going to take the base of that to my vanishing point right here. I'm going to make the top of it go to my vanishing point. And then I'm going to find just the end of where I want my windows to be. So as we learned last week, what happens is your windows will increasingly get larger as you go away from the vanishing point. They'll get smaller when you get towards the vanishing point. So what I'll do to make this a little bit easier for y'all to see is I'm going to, with red, just do a vertical line for the end of my window. This will be the first one out of the series of 3. Just make sure that it's straight. And I'll look at the size. You could even measure, between this line, and you can come in and make this one just a little bit smaller, even if it's just a couple of centimeters smaller. And then, this one, you might have to adjust this end line. If this doesn't work with the original spacing, you can move it up or back, however you want to do it, to make this smaller. So it does increasingly get smaller as you go. So with your wording, you're going to have a space in between each word that you make. So I'm going to come in right here. I'm just going to do a little bitty space with my green. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just make a little space. And you wouldn't necessarily do it right here because you already have a space right there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to create an X. We're going to do a vertical line, and then we're going to do an orthogonal line. So this is really similar as when you were making your ellipses as well as your arches. So with my orange, I'm going to do an X. I'll just do a little dotted line right here. I'll do the same thing as I go down. And so what's happening is my X is going from my red line to my green line down here, and then my green line to my red. I just didn't want y'all to get confused. It still needs to have a space in between. All right, so after that, y'all are going to do a vertical line just going through your X. Okay, and then after that, I'll show you with the blue that you would do a dotted orthogonal line going to your vanishing point. Okay, so now we have the layout for your lettering. And like I said, this is step 4. We'll go to step 5 in just a little bit.